Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and this is a day I've been looking forward to for quite some time because I'm finally getting to ride the 2023 Honda Monkey, or really just any Honda Monkey. I have been curious about this little Honda miniMOTO bike pretty much ever since I started looking at these small motorcycles. I owned a Honda Grom for a little while there, and then it was unfortunately ran into by a GM minivan. And then I replaced the Grom with a Benelli TNT 135, which I'm not super happy with, and my heart wants to come back to one of these Honda miniMOTOs. The Monkey has always really spoken to me because it's small. It's the same 125cc single cylinder motor that powers the Grom, and the same 5-speed transmission now as well. But you've got a little bit more knob in the tires. These things are a little bit more aggressive, and obviously you could have just put knobbier tires on the Grom too, but this thing looks so much cooler too. I think it's such a classic, stylish, more universal design and really cool. Whereas the Grom is an acquired taste. It's a weird little kind of alien looking style. This is the new plaid model with this cool plaid seat. I love it so much. You've got the dual shocks in the rear. Of course, that Meteor tire back here as well. What are these tires? These are V rubber. What's the model name here, or what's the brand? Just V rubber. That's all I see. Well, that's interesting. Not exactly a model name I recognize there, but should have a little bit more suspension damping in here. And I've actually only ridden it from right over there to right here, so not much yet. I'm out here at Honda's museum, Honda's development center, and then their museum, riding all the miniMOTOs. So check the link in the description if you want to see kind of the which miniMOTO should you buy video that I'm about to shoot later today. But without any further ado, let's hop on this bad boy. Talk about what makes it different from the Grom, what makes it different from a lot of the other small bikes on the market, and why you might consider buying one. So first things first, right off the bat, the handlebar position is different. The Grom has more of a flat handlebar. This has kind of this curved, angled back. It's a little bit more of a, I can't decide if it's more comfortable. We'll see as we're out riding, but it reaches differently, and also it feels much slimmer here. It's a lower fuel tank. It's skinnier between my legs. A lot more chrome. That looks nice. A harder gauge cluster to read. This thing is really dark. I don't even know if that's going to come up on camera. But usually when you're riding, you're looking so much more over these bikes that I don't know how I'm going to look down there and just glance down and see my speed. That's definitely a bit disappointing. What adjustments do we have here? Maybe something for tachometer. I can barely read that at all. That's kind of surprising. This bike is fitted with ABS, which is important to me. Let's fire it up. You do have a bright green neutral indicator there, which is good. This one sounds different than the Grom too. It's quieter. This little exhaust pipe coming up here. It's definitely a quieter sound than the Grom. I just got off of riding the Grom a little bit to kind of refresh myself, and the Monkey feels different. It's a little bit quieter. Without any further ado, let's monkey around. A little bit different feel to the tires as well. It kind of wants to fall over on itself a little bit more in the Grom. The handlebar's squirreling around on me a bit. No gear indicator either, so you kind of got to just know what gear you're running around in. Oh, it's so comfortable on the seat. My goodness. I quite like that. Perhaps not as exciting of a motor feel. It feels more, what's the word? Sewing machine-ish than the Grom. I expected it to feel exactly the same as the Grom from the powertrain department, but it is feeling a little different. No tachometer either, so you kind of just ride it up to red line. Okay, it feels... it is a lot different than the Grom. I really wasn't expecting that. I mean, there's subtle differences, don't get me wrong. The overall thing feels similar because that's what it is. They're both these small little Honda bikes. Our buddy Ryan from Honda is riding behind us here, and he's probably going to be frustrated that I'm not going up the lane right in the middle. But it's just not something that I'm necessarily familiar or comfortable with, being a non-California motorcyclist. I'm not in any big hurry. I want to enjoy my time out here on the monkey. Still a good amount of power. We are riding maybe into the wind, but you can keep up with traffic as long as you're below 50, 55 miles per hour or so. Much more than that, and I'd be a bit worried about being run over. Great clutch and shifting action, no surprise there. Somebody getting a monkey might do so to kind of have a little bit more of that urban runaround experience. Very tight still, very quick turning radius. I love the seat. You hear that rev limiter kick in there. It's a comfortable bike. It doesn't. It feels borderline more scooterish than the Grom does. It's a little less hooligan-y, more sit back and ride, which makes sense given the appearance of them. I will say it's interesting to feel them back to back with the tires, because I can tell you that the Grom does feel a little more confident on the street, and you read those sort of things of like, oh, the Grom's going to feel better on the street because of the tires, but it's one thing to read about it and another thing to really actually feel back to back. It's not that you can't do the same things on the monkey, it's just that the feel, there's a slight bit of unsettledness that the monkey has that the Grom simply doesn't. The Grom feels more planted in the corner. But I think I might like riding this one around a little more. It's more relaxed. Still got quite a good amount of clearance from the pegs there. Able to take the corner pretty quickly. Nice squishy suspension. Good amount of travel. Yeah, so you can get over, there's just a little bit of that squirreliness there that doesn't happen on the Grom. The Grom really plants in. You wouldn't want to have the monkey, again, I know this sounds a bit cliche, but taking mountain roads or something, or tight twisties. The Grom is going to be the way you want to go, or at least swap out the tires, which, I mean, at that point, I guess you could, if you liked the looks of the monkey and kind of the seat and everything, you never wanted to ride with a passenger, but you simply wanted a little more rideability. I could see you going with the monkey and then just swapping tires. That really takes the bumps well there. You know what they need? They need to bring the Honda DAX, because that would be a nice little intermediary between kind of the sportiness of the Grom and the scrambleriness of the monkey. Oh, you actually cannot stand up well on the monkey because of this exhaust pipe. That's interesting. So if you're someone who likes to do... Actually, you know what? That would be... Oh, look, a kitty. Hi, kitty. If you're someone who likes to do standing up riding off-road or something, that is restrictive. Interesting. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, on one hand, it's good it's not burning me, but I am surprised by that. I am impressed with the peg clearance. How aggressively you can take corners, that's nice. Yeah, it's a few surprises here. I like it, don't get me wrong. This standing ability, thank you, Mr. Blower Man. The standing ability is certainly something to be considered. Oh, but I really do like the seat. Gosh, you could ride this all day with this squishy plaid seat. And I like the general seating position. I'm quite upright, comfortably relaxed out to the handlebars. It's just a nice little sag down. Things. And it looks so gosh darn cool. Also, these Honda motors are just just tops. I have the Benelli TNT 135 at home, and that motor's so buzzy that I get tired riding it after just about an hour. Whereas this, I mean, these bikes I know from owning the Grom, I could just ride around all day, be totally fine. Yeah, here we go, away from the wind, getting up into the 50s. But you do have a little extra rolling resistance with these tires too, so that is going to impact your top speed. So you would think, being so small and similar, that these bikes would act more similarly. And the thing is they both have their pros and cons, that it would actually be really difficult for me to decide on which one I would want to live with, which is tough for me because I was really thinking of picking up a monkey, but at this point in time, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely the right call. I think if you did primarily lower speed riding around town like this, if you kept it as more of just a little city bike sort of deal, I think the monkey's probably the way to go. It's more comfortable, and it's so gosh darn cool looking. And you really still can throw it around, but the Grom feels like a little big bike, whereas this feels like a big little bike. Does that make sense? This is more of like a scooter. Oh, this is more of a scooter on steroids. Whereas the Grom is more of a shrunken CBR or something, or CBF. Interesting. Well, that's a lot of fun, guys. More character than I expected. It's a different sort of character. It's more relaxed. It's fitting to the look of the bike. Wow. All right. Well, thank you all for coming along. If you do want to see more draws and comparisons, check out our full video comparing the miniMOTOs here. But I'm glad to have experienced the monkey. I'm also curious, is this hot to the touch at all? Let me take off my glove. No. This part is completely cool. But yeah, how interesting that you can't... Maybe there's a little warmth down there. You can't really stand on that. Huh. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.